भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः नमामि गौडपादञ्च शङ्करं श्रीसुरेश्वरं स्वामिनं सच्चिदानन्दमिन्द्रं तं ज्ञानरूपिणे ओम नारायण नारायण. I hope those you understand English must be listening to Prabodhananda Swamiji's talks. His talks are excellent. His very listening is nididhyasana. Directly it touches. And once you listen to his talks, you can never listen to anybody's talks, including mine. Mine talks are nothing compared to him. His just one sentence is more than Vedanta. Each sentence is amazingly great because his manana, his anubhava drishti is excellent. So everybody, those who really want Vedanta and Vedanta anubhava, as you hear, you must hear Prabodhananda's. Luckily, he is giving live talks. If you listen to any one book is enough. That's all. All other books come into that. One book, if you listen to him, maybe few months, 3 or 6 months. Now it looks that he is going to give, and you listen to him. They are excellent talks. Okay, let us proceed. Today is Sugama class, so therefore we start with Sugama. This in the second chapter. What is Adhyasa? Adhyasa Lakshana Bhashyam. We discussed that. Now at the end, Swamiji takes up a Purvapakshi. Purvapakshi means this Purvapakshi is among the Advaitins only. Somebody who explains Adhyasa differently. Now Ekiya Varnanam Adhyasasya. Those who are reading the book, I say the 12th point, number 12, 12th khanda, Swamiji says. So, atra kechid varnayanti. Some people explain this adhyasa differently like this. Jnanasya vishaya pakshapatitvat. See, they start like this. Any jnana, a knowledge. Knowledge means a thought. Knowledge means a thought. A conception, a notion, let us say. A notion, an idea. Any idea, a notion of the mind, a vritti, a manovritti requires an external object. Okay. So, jnanasya vishaya pakshapatitvat. So, the jnana vishaya pakshapati. Vishaya pakshapati means Jnana necessarily requires an object. This is their thinking. Jnanasya vishaya pakshapatitvat. That means whenever you have a thought, there should be a corresponding object to that thought. Without an object, no thought can take place. This is their view. But so, this Purvapaksha, let us say, the Purvapaksha goes on for 2.5 pages, 2 and another quarter page. So the Purvapaksha itself may take 2 days for us. I'll try to do in one class, but they are so elaborately discussing. The Purvapaksha itself will take 1 to 2 classes. Then another 2 to 3 classes Siddhanti explains. Okay, Siddhanti refutes how this idea is wrong. But if the Purvapaksha goes so long, people get confused. So I feel personally, as we are touching the Purvapaksha, each idea at the beginning stage alone, we will try to show the contrast with Siddhanta. Okay, we tell the Siddhanta right here alone. We don't wait until all the Purvapaksha is completed, then Siddhanti answers. We don't wait until Siddhanti answers, until the complete Purvapaksha is over, because people get confused. People may think that Purvapaksha itself is Vedanta. Therefore, just at each stage alone, we immediately contrast with the Siddhanta. So, therefore, Jnanasya vishaya pakshapatitvat. Jnana, they say, see the Purvapaksha says that Vedanta, this is Advaita Purvapaksha. Means an Advaita, a Purvapaksha means a different view among the Advaitins, which is partly true, which comes closer to Advaita but in certain minute point it falls short of perfection. Therefore we call them a Purvapaksha within Advaita. And this helps us to see the subtle difference, very minute subtle difference you will be able to see. Now they say Jnanasya Vishaya Pakshapatitva. This first sentence is difficult. Jnanam, in Sanskrit, the word Jnanam is a common word. It can mean any misunderstanding, it can mean right understanding, it can mean doubt. So Jnanam is a very general term. Whereas in English, knowledge means only correct knowledge, a knowledge true to the object. A knowledge true to the object. So the error is different and the knowledge is different. But in Vedanta, I mean in Sanskrit, knowledge is a Mithya Jnanam, Samyak Jnanam, Samshaya Jnanam. See how we use the word Jnanam common to all these three. In a misunderstanding also a kind of knowledge. Doubt also is a kind of knowledge. And a correct knowledge also, true to the fact, also is a kind of knowledge. So the Jnanam is a common word for all these things. Therefore, keeping this Sanskrit word in view, he is asking, because the book is in Sanskrit. We are discussing in Sanskrit, and the people who are discussing are only Indians. Okay, so Jnanasya Vishaya Pakshapatitva, any Jnana requires always an object. This itself is a controversial. So just a little we say Vedanta, and again essentially it is a Purvapaksha talking, but in between we make a small comment on behalf of Siddhanti so that it becomes clear, you don't get confused. So two things are there. One is wrong knowledge, another is a right knowledge. Right means correct knowledge, true to the fact. So when there is a correct knowledge, Samyak Jnanam is always true to a fact. Okay, Samyak Jnanam is true to the fact. But when you have a misunderstanding, when you have a doubt or a misunderstanding doesn't require an object, because the very misunderstanding itself means, understanding a fact differently. The different is only an understanding, the reality is one. Like take the example of rope. Rope is a real object, and when you misunderstand it, when you understand it for a snake, when you mistake for a snake, what happened? The snake, without being there, you think that it is a snake. The snake is not really there. So under misunderstanding, when you have a misunderstanding there is no corresponding object to your misunderstanding. The corresponding object is rope, but not the snake. Okay, your understanding is snake. So corresponding to the snake, what is there is only rope, you don't have a snake there. This is the Vedantins. Therefore this Purvapaksha is this Purvapaksha is a Vedantins, Advaitins Purvapaksha. Therefore this discussion is between Advaitins alone. Non-Advaitins are totally outside us, at least in this particular discussion. So all non-Advaitins are outside. So this discussion is among the Advaitins alone. So when you have a knowledge of rope, corresponding to the rope knowledge, there is a rope object. But when you mistake it for snake, corresponding to the snake knowledge means wrong knowledge. Okay, it is a misunderstanding. Corresponding to a misunderstanding of snake or a wrong knowledge of snake, there is no snake. Okay, because the snake knowledge, that is a misunderstanding. The snake knowledge has no corresponding snake object, but the snake knowledge is about the rope. Rope is the fact. About the rope you have a snake knowledge. Similarly here, now immediately we apply to Vedanta, directly Atma. We have a Brahman here. We have the Brahman here. Regarding the Brahman, you have a Jagan knowledge of Jagat. So we have a knowledge of the Jagat doesn't mean there is a Jagat and you have a knowledge about it. There are two things, not like that. Knowledge in the form of Jagat. Okay, Jagat is only a form of knowledge, not a form of object. Jagat knowledge, Siddhanta I am talking. Jagat knowledge or the knowledge in the form of the Jagat is only a knowledge without the corresponding object Jagat. Because the corresponding is Brahma, that is the truth, like rope. Truth is Brahma. When you try to understand the Brahma, unable to understand due to some problem, you misunderstand it. The form of misunderstanding is Jagat. Jagat is not an object Jagat. It is a form of misunderstanding about Brahman. Okay? Jagat is only a misunderstanding, a form of misunderstanding about the fact which is Brahman. So Brahman is the fact, and you have an understanding about Brahman, a wrong understanding about Brahman, that is the form of Jagat. So the form of the Jagat is a misunderstanding about Brahman. So a misunderstanding doesn't have corresponding object. Corresponding object is Satyam, not Mithya object. But now he says, now this is a Siddhanti. Now coming to the Purapaksha. Purapaksha starts, he has got a wrong understanding that Jnanasya Vishaya Pakshapatitvat. Every Jnana requires a Vishaya Pakshapati, means Jnana requires a corresponding object. That means if you have a misunderstanding, he says there is a corresponding misobject. I think you can't use such a word in English. Mithya, in Sanskrit we can put it, corresponding to the Mithya Jnanam, there is a Mithya Vastu. Okay, we have never heard what is this Mithya Vastu. Have you ever seen a Mithya snake? Mithya is only a misunderstanding. The form of misunderstanding is a snake. There is no Mithya snake as a Padartha. Mithya snake as a Padartha doesn't exist. But he says, corresponding to the Mithya Jnanam of the snake, a Mithya Padartha is required. This is, among the Vidya Advaitins alone, there are some people make like this. Okay, Jnanasya Vishaya Pakshapatitvat, Arajatasya cha Rajatavad avabhasane, Shuktirambanam Rajatam avabhasate iti Vaiparitya Pattehe. Arajatasya Rajatavad avabhasane. So, it is my own translation I am reading. I did it translate some time back, a few years back. Since an object is indispensable, a corresponding object is indispensable for a knowledge. It cannot exist without its object. Andre ಆ ಜ್ಞಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಅದನುಗುಣವಾಗಿ ವಿಷಯ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಕರಸ್ಪಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್. If a non-silver such as seashell appears to be silver, then it is only a contradiction that the object is seashell and its knowledge is silver, isn't it? It is a vaiparitya. This is called a mistake. Arajata, a non-silver like a seashell, rajatavad avabhasane. A seashell appears as a snake. Appears means you take it. You take it as a snake. You understand it as a snake. What? The seashell. When you understand the seashell as a silver, when you understand, I repeat it, I made a mistake. When you understand seashell as silver, rajatavadavas shuktiralambanam rajatam. It's a very strange thing. Alambanam shukti and rajatam to avabhasate. See, alambanam is shukti and avabhasate is rajatam. Alambanam means the object is a seashell, but its understanding is silver. It is a vaiparithyam, it is a contradiction, isn't it? Object is a seashell and understanding is a silver. Now apply to the Brahman. Object is Brahma, but its understanding is Jagat. So, I understand Brahman as Jagat. So, means Jagat is only a form of understanding, a form of knowledge, not a form of object. It is a form of knowledge about about Brahman, which is the reality. Brahman is the real object, and the form of understanding you have is a Jagat. Now, isn't it contradiction? Contradiction means opposite. Opposite means it is a wrong understanding. The form of understanding about Brahman is Jagat. The real object is what really is lying there is Brahman. What really exists is Brahman. That is a pure consciousness, Advitiyam, Chaitanyam. But what I take it to be is the subject and object duality. That I am a knower and I am knowing the world. That I am an individual surrounded by the world, connected to the world. I am an individual and connected to the world. This is the form of understanding of Jagat. Form of understanding not about the Jagat. Form of the it is an understanding in the form of Jagat, not about the Jagat, because about Brahman it is. It is about Brahman. The form of understanding is Jagat. Okay. Now, the form of understanding is generally supposed to be according to the object. The silver, if an understanding of silver, the knowledge of silver is supposed to be according to the object. But here we have a knowledge of silver, knowledge in the form of silver regarding an object which is not silver. We have a knowledge in the form of silver regarding the object which is not silver. Similarly, we have a knowledge in the form of the Jagat. Jagat means subject, object, all this. The whole avastha, the whole Echar avastha is a form of knowledge regarding whom? Regarding Brahman, who is Sushupti Swarupam, who is free from subject-object duality, who is directly the consciousness. Okay, so Arajatasya, this topic is a very tough topic. You have to patiently listen, because the subject is like that. We have selected such a book, and the book language looks very simple, but the idea is very tough. Tough in the sense, once you get it, it is easy. But you have to have a concentrated listening. Arachatasya cha rajatavadava bhasane shuktir alambanam. When a non-rajata seashell appears as a snake, the contradiction is here. One is the object is a seashell and its understanding is silver. There is what is a discrepancy. Vaiparityapatte. Here is a discrepancy. Thing is one. Its knowledge the knowledge about it is different. It is Vaiparityapatte. There is a discrepancy. Mithyaiva rajatam abhaviti vyavaharanusarena mithya rajatam laukika paramartha rajata vilakshanam abhinavameva rajata jnanalambanam tatkale samutpadyate iti kalpaniyam. Since there is a discrepancy, to solve this discrepancy, what should you do? See, he calls it a discrepancy. He calls it a problem. See, the Purvapaksha is telling. The thing is seashell, and a knowledge about the seashell is a silver. How can there be a knowledge of silver regarding a thing which is non-silver? Why? In every misunderstanding, this is what happens. You may say this is what happens. In any misunderstanding, thing is one, its understanding is different. This is what misunderstanding is. You may say. He says no. Purvapakshi says, Advaita Purvapakshi. Purvapakshi within Advaitins. You say no. Every knowledge must have a corresponding object. Hey, we have never heard it. Yes, we are telling you. You listen to us. This is our Siddhanta. Every knowledge requires a corresponding object. But it is a misunderstanding. You may say, yes, if it is a wrong understanding, there must be a wrong knowledge corresponding to it. There must be a wrong object corresponding to it. For wrong knowledge, there must be a wrong object for corresponding to it. It is something like when you speak the truth, there must be a true object, true event. But if you are telling lie, there must be a lie object. That means a false object. This is what they are talking. It is a surprising. This is what Purvapakshi says. So when you speak truth, for your true statement, for your statement, there is a corresponding object. When I say this is a pen, it is a true statement. So the statement has a corresponding object. Now when I say this is a book, what say I say that? So for that lie, you require a corresponding wrong object. Do you have a wrong object? For wrong knowledge, for a wrong statement, do you have a wrong object? This is a very strange philosophy among certain Advaitins. They create it. Swamiji attacks that. Attacks means criticizes this point. This is the mistake they make it. So here he says, so there is a discrepancy. The form of knowledge is one, the object is a seashell, the form of knowledge is silver. There is no rapport. There is no correspondence. There is no rapport. Therefore, what happens? To solve this problem, he says it is a problem. Why problem? Because he made a rule for himself. Every knowledge, whether good or bad or right or wrong, every knowledge requires a corresponding object. Without object, no knowledge can rise at all. But if it is a wrong knowledge, yes, there must be a wrong object. This is the premise he starts with. Premise means some moola adhara. This is the premise he starts with. Jnanasya vishaya pakshapatitvat. That's why I told. He starts with that way. And this is what Vedanti, Siddhanti means what? Siddhanta Vedanti, Sachidananda Swamiji or Shankara don't accept it. Rajatavad avabhasane shuktiراలంబనం rajatam tu avabhasate iti vaiparityapatte. This is a discrepancy or a contradiction. To solve this contradictory problem, what should we do? Mitchaiva rajatam abhat. You say, I saw a false rajatam, false silver. I saw a falsely silver. When I say I had a false understanding, I had a wrong understanding. When you said, see, iti vyavaharanusarena, according to your, see, when you say, oh my God, I misunderstood. I saw a silver wrongly. I saw a silver falsely. So, according to your statement, he says, the Purvapakshi says, you must accept mithya rajatam. You must accept a presence of a silver. What silver? For my misunderstanding, there is a wrong silver, wrong object silver. In English, it is a difficult. If you say in Sanskrit, it becomes easy. Because they say, mithya padartha, mithya jnanam. It becomes easy if you use Sanskrit words. Okay, shall I continue Sanskrit words? Mithya jnanam requires mithya padartha. Okay. Mithya jnanam requires a corresponding mithya padartha. Instead of struggling hard through English, go by Sanskrit, it becomes easiest. Vedanta becomes easiest through Sanskrit. So, mithya rajatam. So far, there is a mithya jnanam, corresponding mithya padartha is required. How is that laukika paramartha rajata vilakshanam? This silver, this mithya silver is unlike, different from the real silver in the real worldly silver. Okay? Unlike the real worldly silver, the worldly silver is different from this silver under misunderstanding. Now they created another silver. Where is it? Nobody knows. But now they say we must accept it. So mithya rajatam laukika paramartha rajata vilakshanam. It is different from the worldly silver which we commonly say, we all see. But under the illusion, under the mistake, during Brahma of silver, when you mistake it for silver, when you have a mithya jnanam, mithya silver jnanam, there is a mithya padartha silver. A mithya rajatam is present, mithya padartha rajatam. Vilakshanam, it is unlike this worldly silver. Abhinavameva rajata jnanalambanam. Abhinavam means it is something new. Abhinavam means which never existed before, it is a totally new. A modern is created. Avalambanam tatkale samutpadyate iti kalpaniyam. Therefore, when you are mistaking rope for snake, they say, I change the example, I think it becomes easy for you to understand. When I mistake the rope for snake, during my understanding, during that Brahma, when I take it to be snake, they say, corresponding to my knowledge of snake, there is a there is an object snake. The object snake is this object snake is a mithya snake. For according to mithya snake jnanam, mithya sarpa jnanam, there is a mithya sarpa padartha. Now they put it mithya sarpa jnanam, mithya sarpa padartha. What is this mithya sarpa? Yes, there is a mithya sarpa padartha. This is different from the real sarpa, real snake, the worldly snake. It is different from real snake. Then where is it? He says it is newly created during your mistake. This mithya sarpa is newly created just during your misunderstanding. Okay. Similarly, silver also, during your wrong perception, during your misunderstanding of seashell into a silver, according to mithya rajata jnanam, there is a mithya rajata padartha corresponding to it. And he says, we have never seen it. He says, when you are misunderstanding, during the misunderstanding alone it is present. It is freshly created. As you misunderstand, immediately a new snake is born with you. When you misunderstand a new snake, suppose you misunderstand one person to be another person, during that misunderstanding another person gets created right then. Who said it? This is what they say. Purvapakshi says it. Okay. Tat kale samutpadyate anirvachaniya rajatotpatti. Those who have heard Vedanta already know it. This is the term they use it. Anirvachaniya rajatotpatti. That will come later. Okay. Go to the next point. Nacha upadanam vina kinchit samutpattumalam. Now the first principle is okay. Now 2 points we learned, Purvapakshis. One is every knowledge requires corresponding object. Even if it is a misunderstanding, you require a wrong object. For wrong knowledge, you require a corresponding wrong object. One. Now that when you have a wrong knowledge, as the wrong knowledge arises, along with it, concurrently, athava concomitantly, concurrent means immediately along with it, side by side, simultaneously, concurrently, or parallelly, whatever you say, as the wrong knowledge arises, parallelly, concurrently, there is a wrong object simultaneously gets born. Okay, for the wrong knowledge, a wrong object gets born. Vedanta says, Shankara and Sachidananda Swamiji, there is a wrong knowledge, there is no corresponding wrong object. There is no mithya padartha. Mithya is always jnanam. There cannot be mithya padartha. Remember, mithya padartha, such a thing never exists. It is only a false prakriya. It is only speculation. It confuses more. Such a thing never exists. Mithya jnanam is a mithya jnanam. There is no mithya padartha. This is the pure speculation of some of the Vedantins. Neither Shankara says, Sachidananda Swami says, nor anybody's Anubhava says. In Anubhava, nobody finds it in Anubhava. They say, for a wrong knowledge, there is a concurrent wrong object. And where is that? He says it is newly born. As you have a wrong understanding, instantly it is born along with it. Okay, these 2 points are. Then the third point comes. Once you accept that there is a wrong object along with wrong knowledge, why? Because wrong knowledge always has to be with wrong object. Without wrong object, wrong knowledge cannot take place. See, mithya padartha villadiddare mithya jnana huttalla. Without mithya padartha, mithya jnanam cannot take place. That is their paksha. But we say mithya jnanam is a mithya jnanam. It doesn't need mithya padartha. There is only real padartha and there is a mithya jnanam about it. That's all it means, simply, straight. This is Swamiji and Shankara, and we say. They say, Purvapakshi says that there is a mithya padartha. Okay. Once you accept that there is a tentatively a snake is born, a false snake, tentatively and newly born, freshly created. The false snake, tentatively created, instantly as you misunderstand, along with misunderstanding a snake is created, along with your misunderstanding snake instantly newly created, and this snake is different from the normal worldly snake. There is one more thing. See, it is different from the normal worldly snake. Okay, now this snake, once it is created, then it requires a material. How is it created? Who created it? Which manufacturer? Find out. There must be a company to create it. Okay, there must be a manufacturer, there must be a raw material. Now everything you have to explain. How do they go? See the Purapakshi, how he goes. Now once you accept that there is a tentatively a false snake is created, false according to corresponding to false knowledge, there is a false thing. False thing is created. So once the false snake is jumps up as you misunderstanding freshly, temporarily, tentatively created, for that tentative creation you require a material. Nacha upadanam vina kinchit samutpattumalam. Without upadana, a material, that tentative creation of a special snake, only perceived during misunderstanding. It is perceived only during misunderstanding. Okay, not outside, not in the worldly sense. It is not a worldly snake, only that during misunderstanding alone you see that. Vina kinchit samutpattumalam. Therefore, no snake, nothing can be created without a material cause. There must be material. Ato mithya rajatopadana bhutam. For this false silver, for this false snake, require a false material cause. That is called bhava rupam, something positive substance. It is not a simple negation, it is not a simple absence. It is not simple absence, something positive, something bhava rupam, kinchin mithya bhutameva. It is bhava rupam, it is positive substance, yet it is a mithya. It is a mithya but bhava rupam. It is a false but it is a positive substance. Bhava rupa mithya. Angikaryam, you must accept it. See, he is logically positing, you must accept it. It must be there. Why? It is necessitated logically. It is necessitated by the logic. He is not showing where is it is on your anubhava. He is not showing in your anubhava. He says it is necessitated by your argument. You have taken a stand, and your stand necessitates assumption of something. First you assume something, and that assumption logically necessitates assumption of another. So this is how they go on. Okay. Tadeva ajnanam ityuchyate asma. That material cause, a false material cause for the production of a false snake, tentative produced, instantly produced. When you are under misunderstanding, a false snake is instantly, temporarily produced. For that instant temporary production, you need a material cause. Okay. Tadeva ajnanam ityuchyate. That false material cause is called ajnanam. Now the ajnanam is not a simple misunderstanding or not knowing. According to them, we say ajnanam means a simple misunderstanding or just not knowing. They say ajnanam is not that. Something a special material. Special material, a fine special material manufactured specially in the sky. There is a laboratory in the sky which nobody can go. And they won't be available to anybody. Only if you have a special permission you can go there. You will see in the sky there is a laboratory, there it has got a special material, raw material is available. The special raw material which produces the false snake or false silver or anything false, any false object, that is called ajnanam. Oh my God, we have never heard ajnanam is like this. Yes, ajnanam is a substance. Okay. Tadeva ajnanam ityuchyate asmabhihi. We call this as an ajnanam. Purapakshi says this is ajnanam. Tacha ajnanam shukti rajata pratibhasastale shuktyavatchanna chaitanya ashritam. Now next point is, where is this ajnanam? Okay, you have speculated it. You have speculated it, but where is this ajnanam? He says that material, a false material, to be able to create a false snake or false silver, immediately when you are under misunderstanding, it tentatively creates. So that false material cause is called ajnanam by them. Nobody accepts. No school of philosophy in Eastern and Western world, nobody accepts. This is especially some section of Advaitins created it. Now, where does it exist? You know, it exists. There is a rope. Rope can heltare Rajju in Sanskrit. Rope avachinna chaitanyam. The consciousness which is circumscribed by the rope. Consciousness which is circumscribed by the rope, in that consciousness this material cause remains, and that transforms into snake. Similarly, in every object there is object consciousness. Okay, like the Shuktika Chaitanyam. Shuktika vachinna Chaitanyam. You may say, oh, it is very difficult, but all Vedanta is like this alone. They made it into highly complicated thing, very difficult to understand. Therefore, Swamiji says Vedanta has entered into the school of Tarka. In fact, Vedanta, Tarka, there is no difference. They made Vedanta into a dialectic alone, into another Tarka Shastra. Therefore, I am going slowly, otherwise you may get confused, because this is how the topic it is. It is only once here. After we pass these pages, it is. Now, once you come to Siddhanta, it becomes very interesting. So, you have to bear with it, this Purapakshi, for a few pages, 1 or 2 pages. Okay. Shuktyavatchinna Chaitanyam. So, there is a consciousness which is limited by the rope. And in that rope consciousness, this Mula Vidya, this Bhava Vidya, this Material Avidya remains there. And that produces this Mithya Sarpa Padartha, Mithya Silver it produces. Tacha Ajnanam Shukti Rajata Pasi Pratibhasastale Shuktyavatchinna Chaitanya Ashritam Iyam hi Pratyaksha Prakriya Sankshepataha. Now we have established 3 points. One is every Jnanam requires corresponding object. And for the Mithya Jnanam you require a Mithya object. Now when we are seeing a Mithya snake, we require a Mithya knowledge snake. See, when we have a false knowledge of snake, we require a false object of snake. False snake knowledge, you require a false snake object. Now where is it? The false snake object rises instantly as you get false snake knowledge. Instantly there is a false snake object. Simultaneously along with it, it is born. Now, second point this is. Now, third point is, once you accept the false rising of a false snake object, you require a material to produce it. Then that material is called Ajnanam. This is the third point. Once you accept the 3 points, now they tell you what is the process that the false material cause produces into a false snake. How does it produce? This looks like very interesting story. Mayala Pakkiru Pranamu, Ramachilkala Unnadi. In Telugu there was a story we used to hear in our childhood. There was a Mayala Pakkiru as a magician Fakir. A Muslim Fakir was there. That fellow had a magic, and he would kidnap Balanagamma. He would kidnap the heroine, the queen, the princess of the king. There were seven princesses, 7 Rajakumaras. And that Rajakumari, he turns her into a dog and kidnaps her. And that fellow had a power. And then that princess, the mother who has kidnapped, has a small boy. That boy comes to know that this fellow has kidnapped my mother. He grows up and he finds out his life. Where is his life? You know that Mayala Pakkiru, the magician Pakir, had his life in a guinea, in a parrot. His life is in a parrot. The parrot lives in a tree, and the tree is a banyan tree, and that tree lives in far away after seven oceans. When you cross the 7 sea, Sapta Samudralu dati, Sapta Samudra, 7 samudras cross madi, there is a tree in the what you say that, in the cave of the tree, this parrot lives there. His life is in that parrot. Like this, Mula Vidya is like this alone. Mayala Pakkiru Pranamu Ramachilkalo Unnadi. In Telugu we say, therefore this Mula Vidya is like this alone. Jagat is here, but Mula Vidya is somewhere there, sitting in the parrot. And that parrot is in seven samudras across seven samudras. Okay, anyway, let us hear. Now, how does this material ajnanam, the bhavarupa ajnanam, substantial ajnanam transforms into snake, transforms into silver? Now he gives us a prakriya. Prakriya means a process of production of mithya padartha. How does the mithya padartha get produced? What process? The manufacturer should know the manufacturing company. Okay? These Mula Vidya Vadins are manufacturing company. They made a raw material and produced Adhyasa. I already told you, this is called Adhyasa. They make a manufacturing of Adhyasa. Now, Pratyaksha Prakriya Sankshepatah. What is the process of production? Prakriya means process. Process andre utpatti maduva ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ? A process means a procedure, ಒಂದು ಕ್ರಮ. A krama in what order, what sequence this false padartha gets produced. Okay, now antakarana vritti vishaya deshangatva vishayakaram bhajate. Listen now. Antakarana vritti, there is a vritti in your mind. It travels outside. Have you ever seen? When you are looking like this, through your eyes, your knowledge, your consciousness which is sitting in your eyes goes out of the window of your eyes. This is a very good story. I think it's a very good Kadambari. Mula Vidya Vadins create a very good Kadambari. I think you can produce a film on it, Advaita film. Mula Vidya film. Advaita film alla, Mula Vidya film, you can produce it. Anyway, I am telling you Mula Vidya Harikatha only. You listen to this Mula Vidya Harikatha. Therefore, the consciousness is in your mind, and that mind thought comes to the eyes, gate of the eyes. Through the eyes it jumps out of your eyes and travels until the rope, where the rope is lying there, goes and touches the rope. Okay, be careful, it may touch you. Be careful and sit by the distance and watch what is happening. Therefore, antakarana vrittir vishaya deshangatva vishayakaram bhajate. It is there in the Sanskrita Granthas. Swamiji is not imagining it. It is there in their books. If you study, if you are a Sanskrit scholar, you will study only these Harikathas. Okay, Gatva Vishayakaram Bhajate. It goes there and Vishayakara. It assumes the object of a rope. Then what happens? Tadanu tatsachidabhasena Vishayavaranam apakriyate. And this knowledge which is in your antakarana vritti, which goes out of the eyes and travels to the object where it is lying there. Suppose the rope is lying there, it goes and touches the eye. Not only touches it, it pervades the rope. As it pervades the rope, you get the knowledge of a rope. Okay, this is the process of perception. How does perception take place? Philosophers are struggling hard to explain how does perception. Pratyaksha ಜ್ಞಾನವು ಹೇಗೆ ಉಂಟಾಗುತ್ತದೆ, ಪ್ರತ್ಯಕ್ಷ ಜ್ಞಾನಂ ఎలా కలుగుతుంది, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಏನು? People have been struggling hard to explain. Philosophers, people have come up with their own theories, but nobody is convinced of all these theories. They keep on explaining theories after theories. Nayayikas have got one theory, Sankhyas have got one theory, probably Madhvas have another theory, among the Advaitins, Mula Vidyavadins have another theory. Each one have their own theories. How does the process of perception take place? Regarding Shankara and Satchidananda Swamiji never touch that. They say it is impossible to explain. Like in dream, how do you come to know the external object? You read Paramartha Chintamani, Swamiji discusses there, perception as a process nobody can understand, because it is a contradiction. You only after perceiving you talk of it, but before perceiving you can't tell how does the perception take place. You have a perception, this is what you can say, but anyway, it is their explanation, we leave it to them. And let us try to understand whatever they say. Okay, tatstita chidabhasena vishayavaranam apakriyate. So this jnanam goes and covers the rope. Then what happens? On the rope there is an avarana. Avarana means there is a veil. There is a veil covering up. There is a veil of ajnana which covers up There is a burqa of a rope. For every object there is a burqa. This is Advaitin's burqa. There is a burqa which covers every object. And this jnanam goes and removes that burqa and comes to spot the rope. Okay. Tato vishaya deshasya chaitanyasya pramatru chaitanyasya cha abhedat vishaya pratyakshata samupajayate. Now the consciousness is present where? Where is the consciousness? Consciousness is all pervasive. Sarva vyapaka consciousness is in three places. Now there is a pramata. Pramata is the knower. Prameya is the rope. Prama is the jnanam. Prama is the jnanam. Therefore, this consciousness which is Chaitanya Rupa Paramatma, when he is in me, that consciousness is appearing as a pramata. When the consciousness is appearing as a rope, because the consciousness is what you call it, Rajju Avachinna Chaitanyam. One is the Rajju Avachinna Chaitanyam, Chaitanyam in the form of rope, as the basis of rope, Chaitanyam as the form of the seer, that is a person. Manushanalli Pramatrava Chaitanyam, Prameyava Chaitanyam. When these two Chaitanyam come together, there is a Pramava Chaitanyam is born. Then the knowledge takes place. This is what is happening every day when you are seeing. This is their explanation, okay? This is what is their explanation. Don't take it to Siddhanti. This is Pura Pakshas. Therefore, Abhedat Vishaya Pratyaksha. There is a Pratyaksha Jnanam takes place. Okay, next. Shukti Rajatadi Mithya Vastu Pratibhasa Stale Punashukti Avachinna Chaitanya Shrita Avidya Rajata Rupena Parinamate. Here, when the knowledge in your Antakarana travels outside through your eyes, goes and pervades the rope. So, when there is a Avarana, the Ajnanam which covers the rope, Ajnanam which covers the rope gets destroyed. This knowledge goes and burns it out. What? The Ajnanam which is covering the rope, the burqa which covers the rope gets burnt out. Then you come to see the rope. Sometimes what happens? That Ajnanam doesn't get burned. Then you won't see the rope perfectly. When you don't see the rope correctly, when the light in your mind travels through your eyes and goes near, further, near and goes to the nearest point of the rope, but it fails to cover the rope completely. When it fails to cover the rope, what happens? Just it goes near it. At that time what happens? The Ajnana, that is Mula Vidya or positive Avidya which is covering the rope, it transforms into a snake. Okay. Shukti Rajatadi Mithya Vastu Pratibhasa Sale Punaha Shuktavachinna Chaitanya Shrita Vidya. That Avidya covering which is existing in the Shuktavachinna Chaitanyam, in the consciousness circumscribed, limited to the seashell or limited to the rope. There that Ajnanam, material Ajnanam lying there, it transforms into snake. Okay. Rajata Rupena Parinamate. It transforms into silver or the snake and sits there. Dosha Pratibandhat Vrittiratra Shuktikadi Vishayakaram na bhajate. This vritti, our Antakarana vritti, should have directly perceived the rope or should have perceived the seashell, but unfortunately it is unable to perceive the seashell or unable to perceive the rope directly because there is a Mula Vidya, and that Mula Vidya transforms into a snake. You end up seeing the snake. Instead of seeing the rope, you end up seeing the snake. Instead of seeing the seashell, you start seeing the snake, the silver which is transformed by the avidya which is covering up the rope and seashell. Okay. Yada chatra shuktavachinna chaitanyavastha rajatakarena parinamate. This is one more thing. The avidya which is lying on the rope, which is covering the rope, when it transforms into snake, at the same time ಮಿಥ್ಯಾವಸ್ತು ಪ್ರತಿಭಾಸಾರ್ಥಂ ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಚೈತನ್ಯಸ್ಥ ಅವಿದ್ಯ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಮೈ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎನ್ ಅಂತಃಕರಣ. ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಅಂತಃಕರಣ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈ ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಮೂಲಾವಿದ್ಯಾ. ಮೂಲಾವಿದ್ಯಾ 2 places. It is in Sakshi, it is on rope. The same Mulavidya is on rope, also is in Sakshi. So the same Mulavidya which is lying in my Sakshi transforms into by Mithya Jnanam in my Antakarana. It transforms into Mithya Jnanam, false knowledge in my Antakarana, and that Mulavidya which is lying on the rope transforms into a Mithya snake. Therefore, these 2 things happen simultaneously. There the Mithya snake is born. In your mind there is a Mithya understanding is born. Mithya snake knowledge and Mithya snake object, both of them simultaneously arise. What a beautiful Kadambari. Advaitins have created beautiful Kadambari. You may feel it is difficult to understand, then you do a lot of punya. Mundina Janma, you will be born into a you will get a Mula Vidya Guru, and then you will be able to understand. You do a lot of punya. Mundina Janma, you will be born as a Brahmana and Samskrita Pandita, and then you will be get a Mula Vidya Guru, and you will never come to Karyalaya. You will never know that Satchidananda Swamiji exists. Then you will learn, he will teach you all these things. You won't get it from Satchidananda Swamiji, this kind of, you won't get it. There you will get it. You have to do a lot of punya to be able to understand this. Otherwise no moksha. You won't get moksha. You have to learn all these things. They say all these things you have to learn, then only you get moksha. Now okay, that avidya which is covering the rope, it transforms into a false snake object. And the same similar Mula Vidya which is in your Sakshi, which transforms into a false knowledge of snake. False snake knowledge, false snake object, both of them simultaneously rise and they get connected to each other. Then you will see the snake. This is how the Mithya, this is how the Brahma takes place, Adhyasa takes place. See how beautifully they have explained Adhyasa, which Satchidananda Swamiji cannot explain. Prakashananda Swamiji out of question, he cannot. First thing is, I never understood these things. I opposed it. They called me a mental case for questioning it. They expelled me. They called me a mental case because I didn't like this thing. I said, all this seems to be too much for me, unbearable for me. Tadevam rajatakarasya rajatagyanakarasya avidya parinatvat rajatatadyanayoh shukti jnana tiraskaryatvacha rajatam tejnanam cha mityetyuchyate. Okay, now the 2 things are born. One is the false snake object, false snake knowledge. False snake object, false snake knowledge, both are born out of Mula Vidya. Mula Vidya is in 2 sides. One is on the object, another is on you in your Antakarana. Bottom of Antakarana, in the Sakshi. It is in your Sakshi, it is there on the object. Both of them have got a very knack of contacting. They have got a wireless connection. Therefore, this Mula Vidyas, Tula Vidya, Mula Vidya, anyway, that Mula Vidya, both of them simultaneously produce. So, these 2 knowledges, false snake knowledge and false snake object, simultaneously arise. Then you are in the misunderstanding, you are in Adhyasa. And this is called Avidya, it is called Mithya. Then why do you call Mithya? Mithya also, there is an interesting story you have to learn. What is Mithya? It is called Mithya because this Mithya snake object and Mithya snake knowledge, both of them are not true to the rope. The rope is really lying there. You are seeing different from rope. Therefore, it is called Mithya. So, therefore, is a Mithya Padartha and Mithya Jnanam. Mithya Padartha and Mithya Jnanam. Asata Pratibhas Anupapattehe Satascha Badha Anupapatter Mithya Rajitam Tad Jnanam cha Sadasadhyam Nirvachaniya Bhavataha. See, this Mithya snake, Mithya Padartha snake and Mithya Jnana snake, these 2 are, you cannot say they don't exist because you are seeing them. When you are under misunderstanding, you see them. And you can't say at the same time they are real, because once you know the rope, they get destroyed. Once the jnanam arises, once you bring the light, that snake gets destroyed. You don't know that. Once you get, whenever you have a misunderstanding, a new snake arises. Each time you misunderstand, each time new snake arises. Okay, and then once you see the rope, the what you say, that mithya jnana snake and mithya padartha snake, both of them get destroyed. Therefore, it is not there, asat. When it is destroyed, it is asat. When you are perceiving, it is sat. Therefore, you can say neither it is sat nor asat. Therefore, it is sadasadhyama nirvachaniyam. It is indefinable, inexplicable, as neither existing nor non-existing. You can say neither it is there, nor you can say it is non-existing. It is existing, non-existing in between. It is partly existing, partly non-existing. Therefore, it is anirvachaniya, partly existing, partly non-existing. Sat, asat. You can say neither existing nor non-existing. This is called anirvachaniya. Atha pratibhasanupapatteh satascha badhanupapatter. If it were really there, it would not go away after jnanam. It can't be destroyed. Then if it is non-existent, you would not perceive it, but you are perceiving it. Therefore, this Mula Vidya and it transforming into snake, both of them are anirvachaniya. And also Mithya Jnanam is anirvachaniya, Mithya Padartha is anirvachaniya. Okay. Tadevam kila shuktika rajata pratibhasa sale mithya rajata manirvachaniyam avidya parinamen utpadyate ityavagamyate. Therefore, that avidya, Mula Vidya, parinama, it transforms into the snake, transforms into your snake knowledge. Ammaya. This is one step. Okay. As I told you, it will take another class. It's not enough. We'll discuss tomorrow or next class. Now, once we accept that adhyasa production, we have learnt it now. According to these people, Purvapakshi, Mithya production you have learned. Then what is the reply of Advaitins? They will reply, Siddhanti will reply, all this is a speculation, non-existent, confusing it is. Simply you misunderstand, there is a misunderstanding. During misunderstanding, you think there is an object. See, that during misunderstanding, it like when you are seeing in dream is only a thought, but while experiencing, it looks like an object, isn't it? Dream looks like an object while experiencing, but once you wake up, you understand it is only a thought, there is no object. Similarly here, adhyasa is only a mithya pratyaya rupaha. Adhyaso mithya jnanam. There is no mithya padartha. Mithya padartha is a totally non-existent. It is a purely kalpitam, unnecessarily kalpitam. It is a confusing thing. It exists in nobody's experience. It is purely their own manufacturing to confuse people, because they are confused and they want to confuse you also. If you want Diksha, confusion, Mula Vidya Diksha, you can take it. But I tell you, I took the Diksha and I got failed and they expelled me. You fellow unfit to understand Mula Vidya. And therefore they expelled me, and then I left, and luckily they expelled me and I came to Sachidananda Swamiji. Okay. Therefore, this is how the Adhyasa production takes place. Now, how do you correct Adhyasa? Our way of understanding is simply two sentences. I say, misunderstanding is only a wrong thought, a wrong standpoint of looking. Correction is only taking a right standpoint and it gets corrected. There is no misunderstanding at all. Okay. Now, for them, Adhyasa is a process, a production, an object. Adhyasa is an object. Adhyasa is a production. Now, a process is there for production, and there is a material which produces it. Then how does the Jnana remove it? That we shall see in the next class. How does it remove that Adhyasa? How does it remove that material cause Mula Vidya? Okay, I think I have repeated sufficiently. We'll go directly to that. Now only in one class, probably half class, it may not take one class. Half class, they explain how do you remove Adhyasa, they explain. That's all. This much is a Purvapaksha. Then Siddhanti answers, all this is unnecessary. Too much of confusion, too much of speculation, which is not in keeping with Anubhava, which doesn't require, which is not logical, and you don't find it in Bhashya also. They also say it is not found in Bhashya, but it is found in Vyakhyanakaras. With the help of the Vyakhana, we have to interpret it, they say. Okay, we'll stop with it and we'll discuss in the next class. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat.